revolutionizing the way women grow, work, live, and lead. Engaging interviews, insightful book reviews, and timeless gems to aid the modern woman in excelling personally and professionally. Hosted by the multi-passionate Tabitha D. James, Unleash the podcast not only empowers listeners, but also equips them with applicable action-based resources for daily life. Hey friends, if this is your first time listening, welcome. If this is your second, third, fourth, fifth, 50th time tuning in, welcome back. I am so excited for this season and everything that is just manifesting in it, the positive feedback from the name change and the shift. And if you're new, you don't understand, but go back a few episodes and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm loving the feedback and the energy that I'm getting from this. There's some tweaks and twangles that I need to handle, and I need to stop popping my darn mouth. I'm working on that, y'all. I'm working on it. But that lets you know you're getting the authentic, the real version of me. So I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it because as I re-listen, it is a little loud. So working on that. Side note, rate, review, share, let other people know about the podcast. Yes, I love the testimonials and the clout, quote unquote, if you will, but it's more so about you and others. The more you rate, review, and share, the farther I reach and the more people get to tune into this, greatness and get to develop a community, if you will, of people unleashing their unapologetic uniqueness. So rate, review, share. Today's episode is brought to you by Unleash, the live event happening November the 16th at Doubletree Oceanfront Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So if you are a creative female entrepreneur or you know a creative female entrepreneur, head over to www.iamshe, the I is a 1.com/unleash for more details. I'm super excited to be hosting this event alongside Brittany from 22 Event Design. It's going to be amazing, guys. It's going to be amazing. And I have a little testimony as it relates to Unleash, but we'll get there later. So let's get into the content. Let's get into the word. Let's get into the timeless gem, okay? So, fear, right? How do we move past it? Okay, let's journey back. Okay, close your eyes if you're not driving and think back to your childhood as far back as you can remember. Most of the time, our cognitive memory can take us back to around 5 or 6, depending on your developmental cycle. But around that time, you're learning how to ride a bike, right? You're going to big boy or big girl school by yourself. You are making new friends. You are doing the things in PE that you have no idea what they are. You're taking risk and you don't even know it. And you're not afraid. You're just doing it because you have no other choice, actually. Find that childlike mind and apply pressure. As we mature and as, our family, our surroundings, society begins to get in our head and in our ear and in our minds, we develop preconceived notions of things that may or may not be real and may or may not be healthy for us. Why are you afraid to go for your dreams? Why are you afraid to make that move you've been thinking about? Why are you afraid to apply for that position or promotion? Why are you afraid to, contact that person that you think can help to up-level your life or would be a resource to you? Why are you afraid to think beyond the normal scope of life? Why are you afraid to launch the blog? Why are you afraid to record the podcast? Why are you afraid to start the business? Why are you afraid to just branch out to, maybe events or cities that you've never been to? It is becoming engraved in you to be afraid. If there's something that I've listed or something that, maybe in the wheelhouse of those things that you have like an intrinsic fear about, that's been implanted in you, and it's time to let it go. Okay? It's time to let it go and live past our fears. If we don't live past our fears, it is quite easy to become complacent. It is quite easy to continue to get older and not try new things. And so I'm challenging you to step out on faith and put fear aside. Things are going to be challenging. They should be. Things are going to seem a little awkward. They should. It's not always going to be easy. it shouldn't be. Anything worth having is worth working for, worth fighting for, worth sacrificing for, and worth risking for. And so I am challenging you to just live past those fears, like tell fear goodbye. At the end of the day, think, what could happen? Like, what is the worst thing that can happen if I try X? And if you can't think of something that's gonna take you out, literally, then try it. Just try it. And if it doesn't work, so what? You tried it. There is no such thing as failure. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. There's no such thing as failure. There are learning opportunities, and sometimes those learning opportunities may present themselves as a challenge that you did not foresee, but there is no such thing. Whoa, I can't even talk. I want to get this message to you so bad. There is no such thing as failure because you tried it. The real failure is not trying it. The real failure is staying in your comfort zone. The real failure is living day after day, week after week, month after month, and not trying anything new, sitting on those dreams, not manifesting your greatness. That's the real failure. There is nothing wrong with planning something and it doesn't work out, launching something and it doesn't sell, going for the promotion and you don't get it. You tried. So you ultimately do not have any what ifs. Now you may start to think, what if I would have done this differently, or maybe I can change this next time. You may have those type of thoughts, but you won't have the thought of what if I would have gone for it, because you went for it. So this is a pure, genuine challenge to step out on those fears. Do not allow them to shackle you for years and years and years, because we ain't getting no younger. We ain't getting no younger, okay? Life is progressing, and opportunity is an ever evolving thing. Opportunities are going to come and going to go whether you take them or not. Someone else is going to take them. Someone else is going to do the thing. Someone else is going to go for it. And for my spiritual folks, God ain't running out of blessings. But if you don't meet him where you need to meet him, you're not going to get yours. And I'm not saying that you won't be blessed. I'm not saying you won't have an abundant life. I'm not saying you won't have a well life. But what I am saying is there is something destined for you that is bigger than you can even imagine. But you gotta do your part. As I kind of alluding to last week's topic, you have to do your part. You gotta meet him halfway. You gotta put some skin in the game. And most times putting skin in the game means working past those fears, pushing through challenges. And doggone it, it's hard, y'all. And so here's my I said earlier, I go to like an Unleashed testimony. So we were trying to crank out like 2 events, 2 different cities, 2 different structures, not drastically different, but slightly different structures. And, a few weeks before the event, I'm thinking, we might have to cancel one of these to ensure that we are pouring, our life and love and resources into the other event. And that's what happened. We had to, cancel an event. And at first I was afraid. I was afraid of what it would look like to have to cancel. I was afraid of what, would be perceived of me. Am I a failure? Am I not good enough? Whatever. Just all types of thoughts. But I had an amazing conversation with the venue owner and then, sponsors and partners. And everything was fine. At the end of the day, everything was fine. For everything, there is a season and a reason. And so there was a reason behind why that event was not supposed to happen on that day. And, it's like rebrand, refocus, restructure, maybe try it again next year, maybe not, we'll see. But as it relates to the 16th of November, it is going down in Myrtle Beach. So if you know someone who would benefit from being there, definitely let them know. Not being salesy, just completely being honest, is going to be amazing. But it took a lot for me to do that, because I'm just quality driven and I love to see things just manifest, but it wasn't going to happen. It was going to be forced, and I don't believe that it was meant to be. In a result of canceling it, I was able to do some work that Saturday morning, attend an amazing book signing that, the author ended up selling out before the event was even over. And then I just got to spend quality time as well as productive time with Brittany, who is coordinating the event with me. And that was important. That was needed. It was necessary for strategizing. It was necessary for us to kind of talk through some of our fears and some of our challenges and figure out how we could use our networks and our resources to make sure that we are moving forward in the right way. That was a little scary, but we did it. So I wanted to share that testimony along with there are several examples I can give you from my personal life. Heck, I moved 10 hours away from my comfort zone when it was time for me to go to graduate school, and I was terrified. But I knew it was what I needed to do, not just for the education, but for me as a person. I knew I needed to be away in order to heal from some past pains, in order to get a personal connection with who I was as a person and who I wanted to be as a professional in this world. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I love living in South Carolina, and for this season it is amazing. I do think that I will transition to somewhere else in the years to come, but right now it is amazing. I know that I will be able to have a solid foundation here, but it is all because I did not fail to take a leap in my earlier 20s to be like, you know what, I need to be somewhere else. I need to learn some things. I need to meet some people. I need to get some more just exposure, and furthermore, I need to kind of be in isolation so that I am not subjective to allowing my surroundings to imply fears, thoughts, emotions, or any of that on me as I go through this journey. Now, was I able to articulate that in such a way as I just did back then? No, but in reflection, that is exactly what it was. So push past those fears. Step out on your greatness, believe in your uniqueness, and try it. Whatever that it is for you, try it. And if it doesn't work out, remember, it is not failure. It is a learning opportunity. And that means it's time for you to sit in reflection and think about what it is that you want to do next, what it is that you learned from the experience, and how can you apply that to your life moving forward. So yeah, that's it, y'all. Timeless Gems. Step out on fears. And if you got a little time, check out my recent reflection blog. So I finally did the Woman Evolve Reflection Part 2. And when I tell you this message can be transferable, it's not all about the conference. It's more so about just reflecting and sitting in 3 things that I know to be true as it relates to people, setting intentions, and talk about it. What was the last one? Reflection. Reflection, exactly what it was. People, being around the right people, ensuring that your surroundings are safe and secure, and that you are not just pouring out and not being poured back into, or there isn't a Judas in the camp trying to ruin you and all that you have going on. So assess your circle frequently. Secondly, intentions. Set intentions in whatever it is that you do, right? While I want you to be out here slaying your fears and moving past them, be intentional in doing so. Be intentional with your thoughts, be intentional with your actions, and be intentional with your planning. And last but not least, don't be afraid to reflect. Reflection can often take us into a place that we are not so happy to be, because there may be some past fears, fears too, but some past situations that, aren't the happiest. They weren't, pearls and roses. They may be a little, tear-jerking for you, but it's important to reflect and deal with those things. And it is important to go back and say, you know what? That made me feel a little icky. How can I make sure that I'm not in that environment again? Or how can I ensure that this person's actions don't make me feel that way? Because we are in control of how we feel, right? If someone makes you angry, their action may have angered you, but it's your choice to be angry or not. You feel me? So sit in that. If you have a chance, go read it. I'll have the link in the show notes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, review, share the podcast. And until next time, catch you later. It'll be October when we meet again, Q4. And I can't wait to share some Timeless Gems, book reviews, and interviews. Catch you later.